Oh boy, here we go again. So, because you clicked on this video, because you read the title, because you looked at the thumbnail, you know exactly what we're talking about here today. And this discussion right here, this talk that we're having, this topic we're focusing on, it piles onto this overarching idea that we've actually been hinting towards over the past few months, if I'm gonna be honest. So, today we're talking about the Vegas Golden Knights, and one of the bigger issues that we saw with Vegas that was putting them in somewhat of a difficult light amongst NHL media, fans, potentially even players themselves, was the Vegas Golden Knights' ability to go out there, lock down their players to long-term deals, only to give up on them. Only to go out there and say, okay, even though, Mr. Nate Schmidt, we signed you to a very long contract, what we're going to do is we're going to trade you away because we no longer want you. Right now, if you check up on the Vegas Golden Knights cap-friendly page, they have 10 players going on until 2023. That number, if you go to 2024, it reduces to 8 players. But guys like Stone, Pacioretty, William Karlsson, Marchessault, Tuck, Carrier, Pietrangelo, Theodore, Robin Lehner, previously Nate Schmidt, these are guys who have been locked in. And the conversations that we had a few months ago about how they traded away Nate Schmidt, whom at the time they did re-sign a contract to, they gave him a huge deal, it's long, it's thick, it's big. And because of the conversations we were having about Marc-Andre Fleury and whether or not the Vegas Golden Knights would actually be faithful to him, it put us in a conversation where we were like, okay, Vegas is kind of in a weird spot because they have a tendency to give up, so to speak, on players whom they go long with. They sign them to long-term deals, the players believe, okay, I'm going to be playing in Vegas for 7 years, and then all of a sudden 2 years out, okay, sorry, bye-bye, you're getting traded to Vancouver for a third-round pick. So now we're in a conversation again with the Vegas Golden Knights, and this was brought up on the most recent episode of TSN's Hockey Discussion Panel with Frank Saravalli, Darren Dreger, Pierre LeBrun, etc. And on the panel they were talking about Max Pacioretty. Because the word on the block was that Max Pacioretty, former Montreal Canadiens captain, was again on the trading block. Here's Jesse Granger for the Golden Knights on The Athletic. Further to the TSN report that the Golden Knights are shopping Max Pacioretty, I've also heard that Vegas has spoken to a few teams on Pacioretty. Marchessault's name came up as well as Marc-Andre Fleury. They would all clear major cap space, $7 million for Fleury or Pacioretty, $5 million for Marchessault, and from what I've heard, they're testing the markets to see what the values look like. I'll have a full story up on The Athletic tomorrow. Now, it's tomorrow by the time this video is being uploaded. I'm recording this on the night of December 8th. But the 9th is when Granger's going to go out there, he's going to publish a piece about it. But that's our story here today. Marchessault, Pacioretty, Fleury, they're all on the trade block for the Vegas Golden Knights. Furthermore, this is David Padnota from the third period. He hears that Alec Martinez is on the block as well. He says for Fleury, it's a gulp, he's out there again situation. Right now, the Vegas Golden Knights, if you go over to their cap-friendly page, they are indeed about $900,000 over the cap. And they're going to need to do some stuff in order to pull themselves back within the realm of allowance. And hey, if you're trading away a Fleury who's making 7 AAV per season, Martinez who's making 4, Pacioretty who's making 7, Marchessault who's making 5, you're bringing yourself back underneath the cap. But therein lies the problem, because Marchessault's contract goes on until 2024, Pacioretty's goes on until 2023. Fleury's is 2022, but you kind of know the commitments and the overall meaning of Marc-Andre Fleury to the city of Vegas and what exactly the identity is that the Vegas Golden Knights have as a team in general. So, these trade rumors, whether you like them or not, whether you think it's a good move or a bad move or something the Golden Knights should even explore, in my opinion, are kind of the catalyst towards having these discussions again, as to whether or not Vegas is kind of a foolish team for signing these guys long-term and just trading them away so soon. A guy like Tuck, for example, was given a top 9 role on the Knights. He's making $4.75 until 2026. Sure, he's good. He's a very good sniper. This guy goes on a breakaway, he scores every time. But at the time, he's a top 9 forward. Do you give top 9 forwards that amount of money? Especially when you have a top 6 of Stone, Pacioretty, Karlsson, Smith, Marchessault, and whoever else. Cody Glass, I guess. So, when you sign a contract like this, Alex Tuch, huge length, is it a smart move to go out there and bet on the guy's upside because he's 24 at the moment? The contract is going to expire when he's 30. Do you want Alex Tuch by the time he's 30 already having a top 6 spot on the team? Because it's going to take him a while to break that, at the very least 2 years, because Stone, Pacioretty, Karlsson, Smith, Marchessault are all signed until 2022. Smith is the only one who expires in 2022. The rest of them go to at least 2023 and beyond. So, is it the smartest idea to go out there and just start locking guys down? Because, hey, if you want to get the roster space freed up, we can just trade away a Pacioretty. Just trade away a guy who ended up getting 30 goals on the year in a shortened season, 66 points in 71 games, under a point per game on a team that a lot of people would say needed more goal scoring in the playoffs. And speaking about the playoffs, this is a point that Tej Dollywell made on Twitter. It's a very good one. Funny how the trade rumors of Fleury, Pacioretty, Marchessault all come out the day of Thatcher Demko's birthday. Happy birthday to Thatcher Demko at the time of this recording. Once this video goes up, it's no longer Thatcher Demko's birthday, but hey, Demko is 25 years old. Thank you so much for carrying the Vancouver Canucks to Game 7 against the Vegas Golden Knights. It's kind of funny how the team is kind of collapsing in front of us after what we saw those postseason games, but it's just kind of funny to me, man. Fleury back on the block, Marchessault back on the block, Martinez, he's got a year left. He can be seen more as a cap dump. I would understand Martinez on the move a little bit more than the other guys on the move, because the other guys you've kind of committed to in terms of the overall value that they have towards your hockey team. To me, all these trade rumors of Fleury, Pacioretty, and Marchessault, they just kind of seem like desperation kind of moves to try to keep this thing going on the fly as you're making moves and as you're going over the cap, etc. Like, if you really wanted to make yourselves compliant with the salary cap, why don't you trade any of the other guys who are making about $1 million? Ryan Reeves is making 1.7. Chandler Stevenson's making 2.7. Noshik's making 1.25. Martinez makes the most sense because he's got 1 year left at 4, but Braden McNabb, 2.5. Nick Holden, 1.7. A lot of these guys were guys that a lot of Vegas fans were ripping on in the postseason because of what they were doing in their own zone. I can't understand how the philosophy here is to go immediately and turn towards the Paciorettys and the Marchessaults of your team. I can understand why Fleury's in this conversation because he was in it before, but still. Fleury means so much to this team, to the fans, and Vegas as a whole, that it just kind of feels weird just seeing this overall relationship and level of commitment somewhat go to waste in a way. And I get that they can just go out there and say, oh no, we were only exploring the market, seeing what the values would be. But the way it was leaked out to the media, where analysts are saying, yeah, no, they're shopping them. Yeah, they want to trade them. That's the plan. Doesn't really fit in my book, man. Doesn't really fit. Now, you have a whole bunch of Habs fans that are probably going to look at this and say, ooh, Pacioretty's on the trade block. Hey, Mark Bergevin, you want to try something? And, you know, if it's probably going to be like that, then so be it. But, you know, it's funny how Pacioretty can go over to a new team, dominate that squad, be one of the top producers on that squad, and be such an important piece, and still be involved in trade rumors, man. Still be in a position where his contract isn't even all that bad. If he can stay at a point per game, I get that Pacioretty is 32 years old, but it's not like he's showing any signs of slowing down, man. $7 million for 3 years. Pacioretty's probably still going to be a good player in the league by the time he's 33 years old. It's just, yeah, he's immediately gone, and now he's on the trade block again to who knows where. The Vegas Golden Knights went out there and they signed Alex Pietrangelo to an $8.8 million AAV contract until 2027, and now they are just doing the best they can to compensate for that. Nate Schmidt, sorry bud, they went with Pietrangelo instead. Now, because they replaced Schmidt 6 point something with Pietrangelo's 8.8, they're forced to move somebody else who probably has their heart in Vegas, and whom the Vegas Golden Knights fan base probably loves already too. So it's kind of weird, but it makes sense. It's just, if I was the GM, I probably wouldn't run my hockey team that way. Take a lot of the new guys, bring them in, and allow that to shake up what has already been established as my core, so to speak, of my hockey team that very recently was in the Stanley Cup Finals, and then 2 years later they were in the Western Conference Finals. This is a good hockey team. You guys didn't really need to do any of this, but, you know, you trade Pacioretty, you guys are going to get worse. What are you going to get back? The point of this move is the free salary. Tell me what cheap guys are out there that are going to replace Pacioretty's point production to a T, and that won't be significantly more valuable because they're maybe younger and on entry-level deals. I don't know. I'm trying to fill in the blanks here, but I can't. Talk to me in the comments what you think about this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Trolls99. And bye.